There is a war being fought over the money in your pocket. Not against counterfeiters this time, against cash itself. In Sweden, cash has nearly vanished. By some estimates, fewer than 1 in 10 people still use it regularly. Whole countries are going cashless, and central banks around the world, 146 of them, have been designing something to replace it: government-issued digital money. Its supporters call it the future. Its critics call it the end of financial privacy. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. The plan isn't going the way anyone expected. The world's most powerful country just banned its own version. And the story of why says everything about who really controls money. Right. First, understand what's already happened, without any government plan at all. Cash is dying on its own. Cards, phones, instant payment apps. In much of the world, physical money is becoming something you find at the back of a drawer. Sweden is the extreme case. Surveys suggest only around 8% of Swedes still use cash regularly. Shops there legally refuse it. In China, street vendors take payment by QR code. Even beggars famously display one. Remember the hidden industry from our first 2 episodes? The printers, the paper makers, the press builders? Every card tap is a small cut. Banknote volumes in advanced economies are flat or falling, and the companies we met, the ones that survived scandals and centuries, are fighting over a shrinking pie. But for governments, the decline of cash created a different problem. If people stop using government money, what's left? Money controlled by banks, by card networks, by tech companies. And central banks looked at that future and asked a question that would have sounded insane 30 years ago. What if the state itself went digital? Okay, the answer has a dry, technical name: Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. Strip away the jargon, and the idea is simple and radical. Today, the digital money in your bank account is a promise from a private bank. Actual government money, money that is a direct claim on the state, exists in only one physical form: the banknote in your hand. A CBDC changes that. It's cash, without the paper. Issued by the central bank, held in a digital wallet, spendable like a text message. The pitch is real. Instant payments, lower costs, banking for people who've never had a bank account, no middleman skimming fees. And the scale of interest is staggering. 146 countries, covering 98% of the world economy, have researched, piloted, or launched one. China has run the biggest experiment on Earth. Its digital yuan has processed the equivalent of over $2 trillion across dozens of cities. On paper, cash's replacement was ready, and then people started asking one question. Right, the question was, what else can digital government money do? Because a digital currency isn't just cash without paper, it's cash with a memory. Every transaction recordable, every payment traceable. Cash is the last way to buy something without anyone, bank, company, or state, knowing about it. A fully digital replacement could, in principle, end that. And it goes further. Digital money can be programmable. In design papers and pilot projects, features have been discussed that sound like science fiction. Money that expires if you don't spend it. Payments that only work for approved purchases. Stimulus that switches off after a deadline. Now, let me be precise, because this is where facts and fear get blended. No democratic government is doing these things with a CBDC today. Central banks in Europe and Britain insist privacy is the priority, and most have explicitly limited what their designs can do. The European Central Bank says the digital euro would let people pay with more privacy, not less. But critics answer with a harder question: not what the system will do, but what it could do in the wrong hands, one crisis later. Once the rails exist, the rules can change. In surveys across Europe and America, privacy became the #1 public concern, and that concern started winning. Okay, here's the part of this story you won't hear from the doommongers. The backlash worked. Start with the United States. The country that prints the world's reserve currency didn't launch a digital dollar. It banned one. In 2025, a presidential order prohibited federal agencies from even working on it, and Congress followed with legislation barring the Federal Reserve from issuing a retail digital dollar at all. The official reasoning stated openly, privacy. Europe, still trying, but slowly, carefully, almost apologetically. The digital euro has been in preparation for years. The current timeline points to a possible launch closer to 2029, with strict limits and privacy guarantees written in. A decade of work for a maybe. And the countries that actually launched. 3 small nations: the Bahamas, Jamaica, Nigeria. In Nigeria, the government pushed hard, and citizens largely ignored it, preferring cash and private digital dollars. Even China blinked. In January 2026, Beijing quietly redesigned its digital yuan, reclassifying it as interest-bearing deposit money. Many analysts read it plainly: the world's biggest CBDC experiment, changing course after a decade, without conquering cash at home. The great replacement of cash, announced, funded, and piloted by nearly every government on Earth, is, for now, stalling. So what did we just watch happen? For the first time in this series, the story isn't about companies or machines. It's about trust, the same fragile thing that built De La Rue and nearly destroyed it. Governments discovered that money isn't just a technology you can upgrade. It's a relationship. And when people sensed that the upgrade might come with a camera attached, they said no. Quietly, without a revolution, in surveys, in elections, in simply refusing to download the wallet. Cash, wounded, declining, written off, refuses to die. Because it does something no digital system has yet matched. It works when the power fails, it belongs to no network, and it keeps no records. The most low-tech object in your pocket turned out to be the most private technology ever made. Which means the hidden industry we've been exploring, the printers, the presses, lives on, for now. But cash surviving means cash's oldest enemy survives too. Not governments, not banks, the counterfeiter. Next time on Hard Currency, the greatest counterfeiting operation in history, run not by a criminal gang, but by a state. How one government printed another country's money as an act of war, and how it changed banknotes forever. Subscribe. This one's a thriller.